So now I'm curious. So now that we have the Roadhog set up over on the Pelkey's side, which one is the gas pedal? And which one is the steerer?
I mean, I could be all gas and Becca can direct this.
Oh no. You know me, when I get on a tangent, it goes
I
all
know this. That's why you're steering. This may not stay on course.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Track Packers podcast. We are on episode number 29 of season 3, and it's been a while, as some would say, since we've recorded an episode. Myself, Mason, along with Mr. Jessup Pelkey. We may have another guest joining us a little later on, but how are you doing, Jessup? It's been a little bit.
It's been a while since I did anything racing related. No, I'm doing pretty good, Mason. All things considered, we are on the fast track of raising a child and changing diapers at a record pace.
I have to ask, so you went through all like the baby showers and all of that. Do you still have a pretty good supply of all that stuff?
Yeah, we've had to buy diapers mainly because um Riley is still in the newborn size. Although we're learning quickly and realizing that Pampers runs a little smaller than Huggies, and Huggies is a little more stretchable. So we'll see what happens here. We're getting close to moving up to size one and doing the Kirkland size brand diapers that we were given on our one party a while ago. So yeah, should be interesting.
Well, as long as she's doing all right and handling things okay, that's all that matters.
Yes.
I so for me, it's been 2 weeks since the last race I was at, and it feels like it's been a month and a half to 2 months. It's kind of weird.
I know. What do we do with our free time?
I, you tell me. This is legit. I mean, obviously, this episode will come out after the weekend, but we're recording this on a Friday night. Legit, the first weekend I haven't had really anything on the schedule racing related since April.
No, you can always come to the banquet.
Well, I could, yes, although I'm utilizing the one weekend to not travel anywhere for once.
I don't understand.
Well, plus I'll be at two banquets the following 2 weekends, which I will have to travel for.
Which banquets are you going to? Oh, you're probably going to Wasota annual banquet.
Yep, and then I believe Jamestown is the week after that.
Is it?
Yep,
Oh, I better tell Becca this.
should. Yes.
We should know this.
You've been preoccupied with other stuff. It's understandable.
All right. Sounds fun.
Well, before we get going into our actual episode, we got to thank our presenting sponsor, as always, Hitch Harness, and thank you, Tyler Hall, for supporting us over the last couple of seasons. Of course, now it's November, so that means you are starting to get ideas for holiday shopping. And one of the websites you can check out is hitchharness.com. Especially, you probably know of someone that owns a truck, owns someone who's looking for receiver hitches or trying to store their receiver hitches more efficiently and safely. Head over to their website, hitchharness.com, and check out the products they have. You can pick from many different styles, have a single hitch harness or a multi-style hitch harness, and various other things as well. If you have any questions, be sure to contact Tyler Hall, and he'll point you in the right direction. So thank you, Hitch Harness and Tyler Hall, for your support of the Track Packers podcast. So, of course, it's just the two of us. Becca may join us. I'm sure she's a little bit preoccupied, but she always likes to make a surprise appearance every now and then. And John, he's busy with work, and I think this is the one rare weekend he doesn't have bowling. So, um, it's not one thing, it's another.
Who is John? What
Yeah,
is a John?
we should probably get like a milk carton and put his face on it.
We've
Oh,
barely heard from him. He's like fallen off the edge ever since like the end of Oktoberfest. It's been, all right, bye guys. And then we're like, all right, we'll talk to you later, John. And then we never heard from him again.
it may be milk carton time. Although the problem for John is if we
His
put
head would just go straight into the milk carton. There's not enough contrast in the color of the glare off of his forehead and the whiteness of the cardboard milk carton.
Yep, you and I were thinking along the same wavelength there.
I think everybody was thinking it.
We just verbalized it for the audience out there. But why don't we get going and have a little bit of fun of our episode and wave the green flag and get right into who or what are we repping? What are you repping for this episode, Jessup?
Well, I'm repping a brand new, custom designed Casey Usatis hoodie. Um, this is the royal blue. And for those who don't know, Casey is a bit of a storm chasing aficionado, I would say. He loves all things storms related. And when he gets a chance, he goes out and chases storms. And for those who don't know about us, um, all the track packers really enjoy tornado stuff. And it's kind of a fun little hoodie here. Oh, I have a dog hair on it already? Gordy. Anyways, it's basically a bunch of really good sayings put together based off of tornado sayings, like "Not my first race, NATO," and "You don't face your fears, you race them," based off of the new Twisters movie.
Mhm.
And yeah, it says we're going green.
Going green. I can't believe I didn't use that line at Oktoberfest, now that I think about it.
Kind of let down.
I was trying to sneak a bunch of other stuff into
Well,
the announcing, but
you had so many opportunities on the second night because nobody knew how to race clean.
well, yeah, the second night, the first night it was just go, 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 and I'm like, yeah, I don't have time to sneak in everything I wanted
You
to.
know, it was the best of times, and then it was the worst of times.
Yeah, invitational season, there was some interesting racing going on in general. I'll just put it that way.
Do tell. I want to hear more. You
Yeah.
have you color me intrigued.
We've talked about it on previous episodes plenty.
But I want to be refreshed and relive the wonderful season we had
Well,
going into banquet season.
we'll talk about some of our favorite moments or moments that stand out a little bit later on.
Okay,
Cool. But yeah, I ordered some new KCU SAS merchandise as well, but I haven't gotten it yet, so looking
it
forward to
takes
when.
a while.
Well, I didn't want to pay for the shipping to my house, so
Oh,
I just had it get sent to Casey, and then whenever I see Casey next, which will probably be next week, I'll get my stuff from him.
ah, mhm, mhm.
And I ordered more than one piece, so because
Oh, you ordered two.
I think I ordered three because I couldn't decide
Oh,
on color selection. What? What?
go on, Mason.
Well, well, for the stuff I'm repping a Johnny Carter hat. This is actually a no non-adjustable hat, and so it fits pretty nicely right now because I
That
don't
is
have.
called a fitted hat,
I was
Mason.
gonna say, is it a fitted hat or I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, it's a fitted hat. It fits really nicely because I don't have much hair right now.
Join the club. I
Well,
don't have much hair, and that this is not all from getting old, but
well, I was
oh,
gonna say it actually looks a little more fuller than I've seen
see,
previously.
it's now if we go like
Ah,
this,
there.
you want it's the racing stripes.
That's a interesting hairstyle.
Look, Mason, if you worked where I worked, you wouldn't have hair either. It's safer, and frankly, the stress from everyone involved where I work definitely does not help the situation.
Fair enough. For the koozie, I can't actually recall for sure which driver this is. I want to guess it's a hobby stock driver out of Minnesota by the name of Chad Visser, but I could be wrong on this. I honestly do not remember where I got this koozie.
Hmm.
But it's a nice, simple number 17 on it. So if you're a watcher or viewer of the show and know if this is your koozie or not, please let me know because I've completely forgot. And I have a new Dustin Strand hoodie. I believe that I got actually it's not a brand new one. I got it last year and it didn't I forgot it in the package and I was kind of going through all my stuff now that the season's done. I'm like, wow, I have a really nice hoodie now. So here we are.
Well, that is nice.
Yeah, and he was the NLRA champion this season, and they were having their banquet. They had their banquet this past weekend, reviewing this after the banquet, and so that made me think of like, hey, good weekend to rep the number 71 to Dustin Strand races the Soda late model and on occasion the Soda modified. So there we go for who or what we are repping. New gear all around. So then we move into our hot sauce hot memory rewind. You better get ready with your stuff, Jessup. Shout out to Isaac Hot Sauce Sondrol, who also recently just had his first child, young Harrison. So congratulations to the Sondrols, and they've been going through the same things that the Pelkeys have been going through with raising a young one. But I assume he'll be back behind the wheel of a race car come next spring. So if you get to see him at the racetrack or you get to cross paths with him, be sure to tell him hi and check out his racing page 12S Racing on Facebook. So that way you can figure out and find out all his activities for racing related stuff. So thank you, Isaac, for supporting us on the podcast as well. What do you got for the hot sauce hot memory rewind, Jessup? I got 3.
I got a lot.
Uh-oh.
But we're gonna mix it up just a smidge this week. Usually we do mainly racing cars, and I don't know all these people this week. I know a couple of them, but mainly because we've talked about them, and yeah. So we're also going to do a bunch of throwback driver photos, which we've already kind of discussed, but it'll make us laugh, and if any of the drivers get out there, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, look at my hair," or something like that. But it'll be good. So, for our racing photos here, you should know these people, Mason.
That is Sean Strand.
Yes.
That is, and Darren Schuler. I think that's 2001.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
I believe that's 2001. I bet I can confirm it here real quick. Nope, that's the wrong book.
I just saw this one. Where is it?
2001, where are we at? Okay. So, oh no, sorry, year 2000. Because here's a 2000 Sean Strand Hero card.
Nice. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yep. Alan Kent.
Nice. I picked this one out because I thought the card looked cool.
I think I also have an Alan Kent one as well.
Did you like the number placement at this time, or did you not like the number placement at this time?
For dirt track racing, it doesn't really bother me. I honestly don't mind it on the very back of the car. If it's forward on the driver's side, it just looks goofy still.
All right, we ready for the next one?
Yep. See if I can match it again.
Because I accidentally bent one of my photos.
Terry Barnes?
That's what I was going to think and say. I would assume so, yes.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Who's Sammy Ray Racing?
Your guess is as good as mine.
But if we look at the name on the top of the car, Barnes. So we're going to go with Terry Barnes.
That'd be a good guess. I am terrible with super stocks too, by the way.
All right. So now this is kind of the fun part, kind of the treat from us to you as I get all the photos back out. Only a handful that we're going to run through here. 1, 2, 3. I think we got about 4 here. Is this marked? I don't think it is, but it might be marked on. I'm not gonna. Oh. All right, here we go. Oh, and this one will make me laugh too. This one is just because we need a nice happy ending photo here. So not like the Deshaun Watson happy ending, but like everybody gets a nice feel good sensation. Not like Deshaun Watson, but happiness.
Keep digging that hole, sir.
You know what? Moving on. So we're going to show some driver photos here, some old ones. We can all get a good laugh here. Mason, this guy right here. Let's see if we go like this. Cha-cha.
I think that's Marlon Seidler.
It is Marlon Seidler. This is a young Marlon, just a carefree individual at this time.
Wow.
We're going on to the next one. This one should be an easy one.
That's Sean Strand.
That's a young Sean Strand. Again, squinting, but carefree and happy.
Well, he's probably staring into the sun. Probably Lane made him stare into the sun at that point.
These aren't lane photos.
Oh,
You had a guess earlier.
I want to say that's Kelly Horter, but I don't know for sure.
That is a young Kelly Horner.
Wow.
I know. His hair has not changed.
I would say the hair hasn't changed. Like the bearded stuff is different. That's why I was like,
And now we're going to go to the opposite end of the facial hair requisite.
I believe that's Herb Bardman.
That is a young Herb Bartman. And last but not least, you got to try to name at least one of the 3 people. I don't know who the flag man is, but
Well, the driver is Jeremy Keller.
it is.
I have no idea who the flagman is, and I don't know who the guy to his left would be.
That is a young Ken Hoff,
Oh, okay.
volunteer of Dakota Speedway.
Interesting that
And
Jeremy had a
and
yellow and red fire suit.
he did. We'll pull more photos out on another day, but just a good time. But we are going to have one extra special one here, just kind of so we can all kind of have a good laugh and giggle about things. Oh, a smiling Kelly Horner. We
Hey, there you go.
So Dakota Speedway is known for being very dry slick, but this is not always the case. There was once a time that they had to pack the track. And I'm going to pull this photo out if I can find it again.
Oh, I should try to see if I can find old
Oh.
Nodak packing track photos because I got a couple.
This thing, some people would be very upset and would pack up and go home if they saw Dakota Speedway in this condition. This is a
Oh my.
that
Oh my.
is the soon to be, well, by the time you post this, it will be the inducted Dakota Speedway Hall of Famer, Jordan Boyce.
There's some
outside
mud.
doing some track packing, it looks like.
Wow.
To say it would be hammered down that night might be a bit of an understatement.
Dang. Yeah, if I could find my track packing photos from Nodak from like the 90s, it looked like some of them look like it's an enduro.
And we'll go one more photo of Dakota Speedway. So there, how do I say this? This is a very young Dakota Speedway, and you can tell by the size of the pine trees.
Oh, good point. Yeah. You know, it's interesting that they have the toter. I assume they later on in years, but they have the toters parked in the infield.
Yep.
Because like Nodak Speedway had the similar issue with when toters were starting to become more and more popular, they were parking the infield, but then they blocked some of the view. So then they would move the toters to the outer pit area. Except in Nodak's case, they just moved the entire pit area because the fair board decided that they wanted to build a giant honking stage in the middle of the dang racetrack.
Well, Mason, sometimes you gotta listen to Kiss and Gene Simmons, and you need a stage for them.
Very true. I have now become used to that stage, but believe me, it was annoying.
I think one of the funniest moments of that stage for me, it was one of the first years on the mod tour for me. And it's mod tour, everyone tries to clean it up and things up, and we go up for I think it was either stock car feature or mod feature. I think it was both, but we go up on the stage as the after we do the flag race and then roll the flags up quick, and we go up, and I'm standing there and I look down, and there was a dead pigeon laying next to me. I'm just like, oh, I hope that's not an omen for the night.
Uh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm surprised there's probably been more down there, but I'm sure they clean it up a little bit from time to time.
Yep, but that's what I got for you, everybody, this week.
Alrighty, I got three quick little ones. You might be able to get all three of these. Here's the first one.
All right, what number is this? 86?
16.
16. Do they still race?
Yes, they do.
What track is this photo taken at?
This would be Williston, I believe.
16. Oh. Hmm. Are they still racing stock car?
Yep.
Oh. Well, that caught me off guard. Same number?
Same number.
Oh no. I'm gonna feel foolish here. Mason, help me out here.
He has multiple cars in this class and had a guy come up from Arizona that raced one of them.
Multiple cars in the class. Arizona. Oh, god dang it. I know this. I just can't. The name's not coming. Go ahead, say it.
Jason Storbakken.
Oh no. He should have told me their family raced late models and came back this year.
I was gonna late models was actually gonna be one of the hints.
Ah, that's a good photo. I should have known that. But I
Yeah,
probably would have accidentally said Casey Starbucken.
because I don't think besides the red and black car, I don't think this scheme looks
Huh.
pretty similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
This is going to be a struggle, folks. I'm not good with names.
that's all
I
right.
just asked my students. 20? Where are they from?
Why not?
Why not? Are they still in this division?
No, this driver races a car that does not have fenders.
So he's a mod driver, 20.
Are you sure it's like mods aren't the only cars that don't have fenders?
Well, there's sport mods and sprint cars. Is that a Lawson?
It is a Lawson. Which one?
Kevin.
Younger.
Dusty.
Dusty Lawson.
I didn't know they raced hobbies. Is that a hobby?
Yep,
Oh,
I believe was this an IMC hobby stock? I think it was. Well, it says hobby stock, but
close enough.
close enough. But yeah, he raced hobby
Oh,
stocks
that's pretty cool.
for years. All right, this last one's going to be a little tricky, but with a hint or two, I know you can do it.
Oh, 19. Oh, okay. East or west? That's going to be a Minot guy.
Nope. Okay, so the hint
Oh,
so look at the town name
I can't
above.
see it. I'm old, and your fingers are covering everything.
Well,
Why don't you open your fingers a little more there, Mason?
new
What's the town name?
Tama, Iowa.
Oh, Guston?
Nope, this driver was on the tour this year in North Dakota.
Oh. Oh. Did he
This
win one of the features?
No, the number is 19J.
19. Oh. Jeremy Thornton.
No, no.
Oh, oh, fudge. What's his name?
He had terrible luck until like the last night where he actually finished a race.
I know. Just say it, Mason.
It is Jay Schmidt.
Oh, God dang it. Hey,
I would
Hi.
have got
thanks, love.
I would say Becca would have gotten that pretty dang quick because she's like a
Okay, here,
pure
Becca.
statistician.
Who's this person? No,
that.
she cheated. Okay, we can play these games. No, you don't.
I want to see the picture. I've never seen him with a mustache.
Who is it? She doesn't know, and the name was on the card.
Settler.
I was saying earlier that he looked like a Burt Reynolds doppelganger.
He does. Let's see if Becca.
We should get him to wear one of the Smokey and the Bandit hats and see if he
Oh,
fits.
a cowboy hat.
Well, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking more of like because he wore more of a black hat. I don't really associate cowboys too much with a black hat, more just kind of like a gray and beige, I guess.
Garth Brooks wore a black cowboy hat.
Well, that was a long time ago. I'm old, Jessup. I don't remember that stuff.
You're old, you don't remember that?
All right.
You mean you're young, you don't remember that?
Well, yeah, that too. The 90s was a long time ago.
Technically,
If
yes.
we're gonna podcast, can I podcast in here?
Do you want to just pull up a chair?
Sure, I'll be on that side and then you be on this side.
I want to be on this side, and you can be on that side.
But I have to work.
But okay, good enough. Why are you plugging everything in again?
I'm cold.
Okay.
It's the changing of the season, Jessup. You know it's getting cold out. By the way, did you guys get any of that S or white
Yes,
stuff?
we did. Hey, guess what I wore this week, Mason?
Clothes?
A beanie.
I wore my Track Packer podcast beanie, and for those people out there, it's getting awfully close to Christmas. And if you just don't know what to get your significant other, get yourself a nice Track Packer beanie. It comes in 3 colors: black, gray, navy, and they all look amazing. Remember, folks, nothing says love for your own little Track Packer than a Track Packer beanie.
Oh, yes. I bet Riley loves it.
She does.
She's wore it.
Mm-hmm.
Funny story. I complained last night about how cold it is downstairs, and Jess was like, "No, it's not. It's great." I found out this morning because I made the bed that he slept under the covers last night.
It felt great. It probably was the first night all week that I slept decent.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, but still, my point was proven that it was too cold, and you had to go under the covers.
Aren't you supposed to sleep under the covers?
Yes.
I even slept under that annoying blanket. Not blanket, but that annoying little sheet that separates you from the covers and the bed. I am growing up and maturing.
He normally sleeps on top of the comforter, so that's a big deal that he actually slept under the sheets.
Yeah,
Or
for folks watching at home or listening, Jessup refuses to turn the temperature above like 41 degrees inside the Pelkey household.
Hey, she's got to learn to be tough.
I was wearing my heated vest upstairs during
Oh.
dinner. So I was cold.
Becca, tell me what the temperature of the house is.
I don't know.
72.
71. Anyways, I'm gonna
This
sit on
is
that
what.
side.
Okay, get your chair. This is what love is, folks.
So we got like
Compromise.
me being like a typical single driver setup. We have the Roadhog or Thunder. Was it Roadhog? The Roadhog class where you have 2 people?
What are you
Yes.
calling a roadhog?
Roadhogs are the race cars that used to run around here.
No, I said, who are you calling a roadhog?
Us.
Yes.
Because
Scooch
said-
over.
I can't.
Get under there.
Okay, fine, I will. Fine. Okay.
Now with
Oh,
your
for
Roadhog
Pete's
with the
sake.
Roadhog
Can
setup
I
that
lift
you
my
2 have.
chair up? I need some more height. I look really tiny compared to you. Hang
This
on.
is the natural progression. I'm taller, you're shorter. You can't even see baby.
Becca, how are you doing?
I just popped a blood vessel in my eye from pushing it so far.
Don't give yourself another black eye. People are gonna think I beat you.
Well, after hearing Riley cry all night,
By the way, you should bring that closer so I can keep an eye on her.
now this is
I
the pick group. I can. I have to do it. This
I
is
was gonna
my
show it
baby.
because Mason asked how I'm doing, and can you at least put it in the front of the
No,
camera?
you're getting real grabby.
I have a sleeping baby, so I'm doing real good.
Actually, this is pretty good. Here we go. Riley sits there. Roadhogging.
Oh, look, it's 71 degrees in the house.
Yeah. Ooh, cool.
I was cold
Cool.
earlier, yes.
You're cold when it's 90.
And
All right, Mason. Let us go back down memory lane with Becca as we hit the hot sauce memory rewind. This memory comes straight from every Gov Cup that it's over 100 degrees. And someone wears long pants, a hoodie, and a beanie when it's 102 degrees.
because in like 3 hours it'll be cold and I will be cold.
When it's cold, it's 94 degrees.
When it cools down to like maybe 80 degrees when the sun
No,
goes
no,
down.
it's still mid 90s most of the time.
Keep in mind, Gov Cup takes place at the end of July when it's like literally the hottest point of the summer.
You know who's literally on the hottest point of the summer of his racing season? Gov Cup Mark Dahl. Never bet against Gov Cup Mark Dahl. What?
Guy has a knack for Go Cup.
He does. He certainly does.
But I'm good. I'm actually because I have a baby now, my time is quite limited and
She naps. I wish I could nap.
well,
I just get yelled at.
Miss Riley likes to contact nap
That
and
is nice. She
and
gets snuggly and isn't screaming.
she
It's
doesn't
it.
cry that much.
No, she doesn't. But when she does, it sounds like the end of the world is raining it down upon you, and the four horsemen are screaming at you.
You just haven't built a tolerance for her cry yet.
Yeah, I hand her off. I'm just like, yeah, Becca's a tolerance. Here you go.
Anyways, since I now have a newborn, which sadly she is phasing out of newborn into toddler. So she's 7 weeks old. Next week is 8 weeks, and after 8 weeks, they say you don't have a newborn anymore.
What?
Yes, and so
What? Why? Who's they?
it's just what
Are they
they
smart?
it's just what they say. But anyways,
Who are they?
I just don't have the time like I thought I would, and all the things that I typically do for Dakota Speedway's awards banquet, I am now crunching to get done. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
I hear there's still a
Could be a hot
president.
mess.
I will say, considering it's been weeks since you all have been to a race, and actually weeks since I've been to a race, but it's kind of been like once like the last race of the season ended, I've kind of almost turned off on rate like dirt track racing locally in a sense, because now I'm into like it's football season. So now I'm just like, oh heck yeah, we're
Well,
into football mode.
that's pretty simple, Mason. There's nothing to turn on because there's no racing locally. We would all know this if Dakota Dirt actually kept his website up to date, which is getting there, but not because
Yes.
work and the wee baby Riley and Reba have all taken up time, which is good because I am a family man.
Well, nowadays football keeps me busy, but then also, as you can see in the background, vintage NASCAR.
Where are we at tonight, Mason?
This is Talladega, the spring of 2005.
Oh, that's a great race.
You see,
It is
you
great.
watch that. I'm starting to slip into the pattern of watching vintage dirt track racing.
I have seen him watch that. Yeah.
I'm more committed.
Well, I know the last time I was at your place, you had vintage like 80s NASCAR on.
Oh yeah, Bristol. I like watching old short track racing. Big tracks.
He discovered the YouTube app on our smart TV, so then he's watching racing on our actual TV now.
Oh, that's like one of the few apps I use on my TV is YouTube.
We're gonna educate the wee baby. This was racing when cars were cars. Now we have to manufacture everything in a shop, and they have to have aerodynamics, and they have to find ways to, I don't know, screw up with the point system.
As I say, they raced for real championships back in the 80s and 90s,
Real
2000s.
championships.
Yeah, Becca got me going about 2 hours ago on that. Our favorite races from the year or favorite moments from the year.
Yeah, Becca didn't remember our favorite moment, but that's okay. Me and Riley will remember it. There's a real.
Well, Riley was there.
She was. It was Riley's race.
Well, we know what Jess is going to pick.
I already did. I just said it.
Can you elaborate
You have
for
to
folks that may
elaborate
not
on it.
understand what we're
Those who
talking
do
about?
not understand, we had a gender reveal race where we had two of our friends, Chris Ritter and Scotty Gartner, and Scotty has a red car, which would symbolize a girl, and Chris has a blue car, which would symbolize Team Boy, and we had a three-lap race around the Jamestown Speedway, and they did a very nice job determining what the gender of our baby would be.
You were in the flag stand.
Yep.
John was announcing.
Mason was videotaping along with Donna. And yeah, it was great.
And all of our family and some of our closest friends were there. And then the fans went wild.
They did.
That was a good night. Because that
It
was
was.
also Jamestown's opener. So there's a lot of cars there too.
And there were a lot of.
150 cars
You know why there were that many cars and people there? For us. For baby.
That means Riley's just got to come to the races all the time. And that way all the cars show up.
It had nothing to do with the fact that May practically rained out for the entire state of North Dakota, and drivers were just itchy to race.
I don't think that had anything to do with it, Becca. I think people just wanted to see what the gender was.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, it got picked up by IMCA and what is it?
Speedway Illustrated.
Speedway Illustrated.
So that was a good night of racing.
Yep.
Side note on Speedway Illustrated, Dick Berggren, he's still around, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
He just focuses on the magazine and stuff in the New England area because that's where he's from.
Okay.
I think he's a big part of the racing museum up there. I think he helps pick out.
Where's this racing museum?
It's like in New Hampshire area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I think he helps collaborate what theme they might do, right? Whether it's sprint cars or late models or
that'd be an interesting race to go to, the New Hampshire race. Or isn't there one in Maine?
Yeah, it'd be New Hampshire. I would have loved to have gone to the New Hampshire race where they ran the rain during on the rain tires or whatever.
Maybe.
That was fun to watch.
Shit. You guys are distracting me.
Well, what was your favorite moment, Becca? Besides the gender race?
More.
Pick another one.
Our trip over to Ada for the sprint car show.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I had a good time. There was a lot of sprint cars there. There was over 30-some 410 sprint cars and a handful of IMCA race savers and lightning sprints.
That was a fun night.
It was a fun night. And then I got to pass out on the way home.
Lucky you.
Mason, it is lucky to be me sometime. I got a great wife, I got a good dog, and I got good friends. So, yes, lucky me.
It is almost a tradition of if Jessup rides in with you in the car to a racetrack, he will pass out within about 20 minutes of you getting in the car.
He was complaining to me the other day. He's like, I never get enough sleep. And I'm like, you sleep in the car all the time.
I'm always driving these days. Because as Becca said earlier, women drivers, no survivors.
It's more so for the fact that the car seat is so big that I have to sit in the passenger seat because otherwise he'd be crammed if he sat in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
He also complains about my driving.
It is questionable. She pulls out in front of semis still. With the passenger side door to the semi.
No.
Yes. Do not even deny that. Yeah.
I'd say one of my favorite race nights was probably the first night of the doubleheader in August in Jamestown, mainly because of the dinner we had for the street stock tour in the pits.
Oh, that was
Hand
good.
me the red flag.
Let's see. Back up. What was your favorite moment that involved late models?
Yeah. So my favorite racing moment of the summer, because it was my passion project for the summer, was the return of late models to Dakota Speedway. Um, I had a lot of pushback from the board of directors and a lot of hesitation as they felt that it was a questionable idea to have because other racetracks and other sanctioning bodies were racing the exact same weekend as us. But Tim Pittenger and I worked really hard to get a lot of interest for it. And when Gov Cup came around, we had 27 late models show up, which that's a full field. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a full field of race cars. And they put on two great races. The weather wasn't ideal for Gov Cup weekend, but that's okay. I think that it just made for a I don't
Wasn't
know.
it ideal? I thought it was nice.
It rained
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle of night one. And
Yeah,
then
that
we
was
tried our hardest to go back racing.
And I was nowhere in the vicinity.
Mason drove through a week earlier, so I think that was residual.
I don't know. The weather I was I on the podcast the week after that? I don't know, but the weather was a huge bummer for me because I wanted the weekend to be perfect.
And
And
Becca's 150 degrees, no wind,
it was
scorched earth.
humid that weekend. So the weather it was gonna rain.
Scorched earth.
It was because I was in Wisconsin that weekend, which is also one of my favorite moments of the summer, just because you get to travel with a whole bunch of people over to Wisconsin. But it was humid over there too. It was super humid.
And there's nothing worse than when fans are like messaging the track, like, "Are you gonna race tonight?" Yeah, we're gonna race until it rains. That's what we're gonna do, you know. So there's nothing worse than just like answering just fans and drivers messaging the track, like, "Are we gonna race tonight? I can't believe you're gonna race tonight." Like, they're here. We're gonna race. We raced, and it did rain on night two, but despite the weather and the chaos that was behind the scenes, we had two great nights of racing with late models, and the drivers loved our track. We're super excited about the potential of coming back for 2025. So definitely going to be on the board of directors at Dakota Speedway to bring back late models for 2025. So
That'll be fun. That would be really fun to. I would love to go see late models at Dakota Speedway again.
I will say the night one feature that was made up on night two prior to the heats and B's of night two. I enjoyed watching it because there was like chaos all over the track because they had a couple really long
green flag runs.
and Dakota Speedway listened to the drivers. Just so if people say we don't listen to the drivers, they listened to the late model drivers who wanted to shorten the race a handful of laps because they were concerned of burning out all their tires. And it made for a very fun feature to watch.
Yeah, watching the highlights of that race, I'm like, that looked like a really fun race.
It was.
I enjoyed my tour.
My tour was a good
Got
time.
some new champions this year.
My tour was good.
Saw some new faces. That was fun.
Yeah, that was good. It's always a good time on my tour.
Yeah, I actually got to go on most of the mod tour. I think the only night I missed was Southwest. Yeah, I think that was the only night I missed on tour this year.
New group took over, did a great job. I expect them to rock it again next year, and it should be fun seeing everybody again. And yeah, it was good. Mason, what were some of your highlights from this year?
Well,
besides the Riley race.
The Riley race was fun. I mean, it just happened 2 weeks ago, but I almost experienced my first fog out at a racetrack.
You've never experienced one?
No.
Tons. I've experienced quite a few.
Yeah, I'm sure being from the Duluth area, yeah, it got real foggy at the top list the last few races. Yeah, it was like, huh, I wonder if that's smoke from like whatever fire they had lit off fireworks earlier in the night, but it was starting to like sink lower and lower the fog, and I'm like, oh gosh, am I gonna experience my first fog out?
That is a wild experience.
Yeah. By the time I left, because they finished around, I want to say like 11:30 that night, and I drove back that night, but you couldn't see like from here to like my computer screen, you almost couldn't see that far.
Oh,
Oh,
Malacca.
it's a Malacca sighting.
Yes.
This reminds me, folks, Mason is a very nice single young man. He's looking for love in all the wrong places. And let's get him a nice lady who will be a wonderful co-pilot, better than myself, on these late nights, so he doesn't hit any raccoons.
Yes. Yeah, that was an interesting weekend going from Wishick to hitting a raccoon. Actually, that is a interesting moment to bring up Wishick because someone decided to make an appearance in one of my videos. Actually, a couple people made
What are
appearance.
you talking about?
Yeah, if you were a fan of the stands, you probably didn't notice it, but we had a couple of hooligans doing the YMCA in the middle of the infield during the heat races of the hobby stocks.
I don't recall any of this.
Yeah. And granted, I moved quick enough that you can like you still see them, but it's just like every time it's like, oh look, they're doing something different. Like, mm.
I don't understand. Is that bad?
It was comical, but then I'm like, this is sad at the same time. Good grief, Kitty. If you wanted to just be on camera, all you had to do is say something.
Yeah.
Is it sad? All I can think of are the controversial moments of racing this summer instead of like the fun and happy.
I had fun. Even in the controversial moments, I had fun.
Well, I always have fun at the
I mean,
racetrack.
you sit there and watch and you go, oh, this is going to be good.
Sometimes I'm like, I can't wait for the comments when I post something.
I enjoyed when you two came over to Fergus Falls for the very first time.
Oh, yeah.
What a
What
night.
a wild time that was. We
That was-
got told to, we got bickered at not even 5 minutes into the race season.
I felt super welcomed.
We did not feel welcomed.
You sat in people's typical spots. I don't know.
We didn't.
It's a big
No.
ass racetrack.
There's a big ass restaurant. We got to sit right in front of us.
But there's never any fans there. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, well, why are you yelling at me? I didn't want to be standing in front of you, so I figured I would just sit down for this heat race and find a different move further down. You're sitting in front of us. We won places. You can sit. You sit in front of us. Yeah, you can see over me. This isn't your section. I was nice about it.
I know you were nice about it.
He's lucky. She's lucky I didn't hear any of that because I would have gone off because I was cold and annoyed.
Becca was not excited for race season that night. I was the only one. I'm like, we're going to go to race season. Where were we even going?
You're on the way to the Twin Cities.
Or
Was it an IKEA trip or was it an actual concert
We did
too?
stop at IKEA.
we did go to IKEA. We saw
We went to
my
Kenny
cousin.
Chesney.
Kenny Chesney. And we stayed with the relatives. That's what it was. The night.
You got to visit me a little bit.
Yeah. And then we got bickered at.
Oh, I'm gonna miss that. You guys aren't ever gonna stop and stay here anymore.
Hey, Mason.
We have a pack and play.
Mason. You know what division that person who bickered at us would have raced in?
Uh-oh.
The Roadhogs.
Was she the gas and the brakes?
I actually have the most fun, honestly, the most fun times I have at the track is when I'm hanging out with you two or John.
When we don't get to, like, when we're not doing anything, it is a blast being at the racetrack. And I'm not saying it's not a blast being at the racetrack regardless, but it's not it's not nearly as fun when I can just go and give two craps and
It's fun to be a fan every once in a
yeah,
while.
Mhm.
that's kind of a sad reality of what we're running into around here. Which is fine. I like being the fact that people appreciate our services, but I want to be a fan from time to time so I can cheer and do my best John impersonation and not have to tell John to shut up.
You would have had many moments to do that at the 100, at the site's memorial. Oh, he was a fun.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh, I can only imagine the things that came out of his mouth.
Don't
Yeah,
understand what you're trying to get at. John is a saint. Saint John.
St. John. Very much so. Yeah,
I
you
think
get
it's
him.
really funny that Riley does John's signature
Oh,
cheer move.
that is
She always
honestly the
has her,
cutest thing to see.
she just always has her arm in the air, just
Oddly, she has more hair than John.
hmm
And soon she's going to pass Jessup on hair, too.
I thought we were friends.
It's more fun to pick on John, right?
Yeah.
We
He's not here
already
to protect himself.
we already had a bad John joke earlier in the show,
We
which,
both had it. We both knew where we were going. Needless to say, what's next, Mason, in our broadcast?
well, we have to give a shout out to our good friend Brody Carlsrud and the B1 IMCA stock car and congratulate him on a great season as well. He is still uploading podcasts. I actually just saw one uploaded earlier today, recapping his season a little bit. And so, Real Deal with B1 is his podcast. Keeping tabs on him. And Brody Carlsrud B1 Racing is his racing outlet. So, thank you, Brody, for supporting us on the podcast and excited to see what you come up with for next year in 2025. Any big upcoming things as far as racing goes? I know Becca's working actively on the banquet, which will be happening this past weekend. But any other big things coming up for you guys as far as racing goes?
Not really.
We need to update our DSTV software.
Oh, yeah, that's about it. Update and clean off the DSTV software, and that's about it for our end. I need to update Dakota Dirt, but I heard rumor, and I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. So I'm just gonna say it anyways. I'm probably gonna get yelled at for spoiling this. Apparently, the Woo late models will be making their way to Western North Dakota.
We didn't know.
I actually didn't know.
No.
How did
I-
you know? Who
I
told
heard
you?
I heard from a little birdie.
John? It does sound like that the World of Outlaw late models will be racing for 15,000 to win up at the Nodak Speedway this upcoming year in 2025.
That's gonna be really exciting. I know a lot of fans have been hoping that they would make it a return appearance.
hmm I think it'll be a good time. We'll be going up there for sure if I'm not busy doing something else. I'm hoping probably Sunday night race, and then Becca probably can find. We can probably find a babysitter, and Becca can have a fun day.
I would imagine Riley could come with.
Not if we're day drinking.
Oh.
Exactly.
Idea. I'll just have Riley stay at my parents' place. They'd love that.
All right.
I couldn't
Deal.
say that with I couldn't say that with a straight face because I don't remember. I don't even remember think there's ever been a like infant or a toddler in that house.
What about the wee baby Mason?
No, because this is a new house because
Oh.
we funded out.
My
No, I assume no major trips planned for racing wise in the near future.
just to the couch to watch the uh, what is it? Dirt in December race, and that's about it.
Winter Nationals.
We're not going to Winter Nationals.
I know we're not going to Winter Nationals,
Okay,
but we're not watching it either.
maybe. Yeah, the time zones really mess with me, and I go to bed earlier now because I have to give my all to the wee baby Riley.
Fair enough.
We might get to see hot laps by the time they get going.
I don't have any major racing trips planned. Actually, for any of the off season. Usually, once the end of season hits up here, I don't really typically go to anywhere else until next April.
Yeah, Mason's not a traveling person unless it's for the Street Stock series or weekly shows within Wasota.
Pretty much. That pretty much. Well, I have 80 plus shows just with that stuff alone. So I
Mason
mean,
didn't take that dig.
I don't think Mason caught it, but
He
that's
did not.
okay.
I heard it. It doesn't bother me anymore, to be honest.
But it's still fun to say.
I'm sure the SSS.
Fuck, what did I just do?
No, not that one. You missed the second dig.
What, the weekly shows?
Yes,
I actually like weekly shows.
I
did it-
know. We have the World of Outlaws racing in Fargo. Mason, I'm traveling 3 hours away to see a weekly show.
because I enjoy going to a race where I know a lot of people.
People would know you more locally if you stayed local.
I do stay local quite a bit in most aspects. Some aspects I don't.
I think your car's odometer begs to differ.
Yes, it's true.
Mason's going through cars at a higher rate than Riley goes through diapers.
What was my mileage this year? I think I was just under 20,000 for mileage.
It's not bad. I figured you'd have way more.
No, yeah, because I gotten a little bit smarter about planning my trips, although this year was really tough with all the rainouts.
Trust me, we noticed. You were getting moody Judy in the middle of the season.
I actually was.
You were. This is stupid! The rain is going to get me!
Well, especially when you're at the track or just arrive at the track and then it decides to rain after you've already traveled 3 hours.
Mason, there's this thing called radar.
Yes,
You are smarter at reading it than I am.
Yes, this is true. Although when you're not expected to have anything show up and it does.
Mason, you are the Rain Man. You're expected to have these things.
So dumb.
I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. You're a Rain Man.
So for me, though, I am going to a couple of banquets. I'm going to the Wasota National Banquet and also Jamestown's banquet that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks. That is my immediate plans for staying in touch with the racing people and working on various highlight videos.
Neat.
And I'm planning to go to California for a football game.
Of course you are. You're young. Travel, young one.
Well, it's getting chilly up here, and I need to make sure I get some good running weather while I can.
All right. Have fun with that, Mason.
It'll be great.
Yep. It will be.
We'll be doing another episode in the future. We'll kind of do like another best of show, kind of like you'd see at a banquet style. Maybe
we should do awards.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to do awards. Most controversial moment.
Oh boy.
That's what we should do. Oh, that'll be great. We are going to give three or four controversial moments or options for our fans, and then they can vote, and we'll be able to see it.
God.
Uh,
Come on, I'd have fun with it.
I know you.
I know you would. We will have various
Let's not
awards.
piss off the viewers.
Yeah, we will have various awards that we'll be giving out for like most improved, driver of the year. We'll have fun with it like we usually do. We're
Wreck
not
of the
here to
year?
stir up controversy,
How about
Mr.
wreck of
Jessup.
the year?
We could do wreck of the year. There wasn't too many bad wrecks that I totally remember off the top of my head, so that might be interesting to kind of reminisce on. With that, that'll do it for episode 29 of season 3 for the Track Packers podcast. As always, be sure to like, share, and comment. Of course, we're a little more sporadic these days, but we always like to know who's watching. Thank you to our sponsors, as always, Hitch Harness, The Real Deal with B1 Brody Carlsrud, and Isaac Hot Sauce Sondrol. Racing season may be done up here locally, but that doesn't mean you can't do your part and go out there and pack the track.